Who this? Is that Baby D?
What up, man? It's boy
What?
Baby D checking in. Yes,
what
sir, man. How
what's
you
up?
doing? All
What's
the way from
up?
the ATL, man. So, man, I heard you been doing some good things up there in New York, man.
That's what's up. New York's in the house. Um, my organization, HUPF, Hand Up, Paid Forward. We've been doing this active kindness program, man. It's just been changing the lives of youth, impacting the community, from law enforcement to political figures. Yo, we trying to change the world, man. We try to bring it together. That's what's up.
Okay, man. I know we can do it. It's no problem. All it take is just like you say, one person to just show some type of initiative. And I'm down. I represent the city, so I'm down. I'm down. Whatever I need to do on my end. I'm willing to
Okay.
accept the challenge and let's make it happen.
Welcome to Worldwide Entertainment TV. Your girl, Miss Goldie. And Miss Goldie to you. And as always, we always have exciting guests. We always have new topics. We always got the tea. We always got the behind the scenes. You know how it goes. And tonight, we have the pleasure of interviewing. I'm a co-sign him, the Black Forest Gump, interviewing Mr. Marcus H. Knight. And when I tell you guys, this is a pleasure. It's so amazing to have him here. I mean, he's one of a kind, and we always find those one of a kind people here at WWF. So shout out to them. And we are in snowy New York right now. I don't know if you guys can see what's going on behind me. New York is beautiful. Hello, Mr. Knight. How are you?
What's good? What's good? HUPF, Hand Up, Paid Forward,
Thank you for
Acts of
joining us
Kindness.
on
Y'all
Worldwide
say hello.
Entertainment TV.
That's what's up. It's
That's
a
right.
pleasure to be here.
Listening to breaking that down because right now it's like you're speaking a foreign language, right? So, the reason why we was pleasure with Mr. Knight's presence is because he had some amazing things going on, right? And I mean, I find amazing things and I find those one of a kind things. And with Mr. Knight, I have found a one of a kind thing. He has an organization, HUPF, which is Hand Up, Pay Forward, and he does these crazy things, this acts of kindness, like he's nice to people on purpose. And I want him to break that down because, we're not always nice to people on purpose, or it doesn't always come from the heart. Sometimes we have a reason why we're nice. He's just nice for no reason. So, Mr. Knight, tell us about HUPF.
Well, HUPF is Hand Up, Paid Forward. They call it HUF. It's been getting around so much so that I had to come up with a definition. If I were to summarize that, it would be to say you are a Huff woman. That is ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. So that's the short of it. And we have this program called AOK, Acts of Kindness, where you just randomly do an act of kindness. But then there's a Are You AOK? That's the random unplanned act of kindness. So I've been blessed to go from coast to coast, city to city, state to state, and do some amazing things for just ordinary people who are extraordinary. That's in short what HUPF is about.
So, how does that work? How does that work? What is a random act of kindness? Like, what is that?
Well, I think kindness is a term that isn't even used anymore. If you could imagine people sitting around the table talking to their children or family about let's be kind to somebody. How many times do you think that happens in a household? Much less in the school or even in church. Being a blessing, it may come up, but just to be kind is it's just a foreign word. And so, but the truth is, it doesn't take much to be kind, and this is the breakdown that we need to bring to the generation. Since we're microwave anyway and want to do everything super quick, it only takes so much. For instance, somebody ahead of you buying coffee. I got that done. Act of kindness done. Somebody's hands are full, and you need to help them with that bag or open the door, or somebody's down. You actually take the time to write them a note or an email, or it's just limitless of what you could do that would impact somebody's circumstance or somebody's day. It's simple, truly.
So you're saying it may not be a monetary thing. Like you don't have to think you have to have money to do acts of kindness. It's just as simple as carrying someone's bags. It's just as simple as paying for someone's $2 coffee, or those are your
Exactly.
examples of your random acts of kindness. And the Hand Up Paid Forward organization, what is the goal and agenda of that organization?
Well, I've been working with some pretty amazing organizations, companies, even with city officials. But the most impacting to me was working with Unilever. Unilever is a Fortune 100 global, multi-billion-dollar company who, during the time of that we went through with people getting sick and so forth, saw what I was doing in the community, which we were, being a part of feeding hundreds of people a day. Um, Jumped in and began to work with me. They gave me the nickname of the guru. And so the guru of kindness. And so as the guru, first of all, being a man of color, you can't imagine what that means to me to wear that name, because there's no way in heaven or earth that someone would utter that name and you would think of a man of color. So I
Right.
wear that as with a badge of honor. Absolutely. Um, but the goal and mission is really to educate, um, if not this generation, to remind this generation, but to educate the next one, to say it doesn't take much to be kind, and it can really change. There's a chemical change, there's a mental, there's emotion, there's a spiritual change that happens when somebody is kind to someone else. So I'm just the educator, and I'm the initiator of kindness.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And people don't have that normal purity when we live in purity. Someone take the act of kindness challenge.
Right. So we've had some officials take the challenge. I've done them city and statewide, um, but it can be done at any level. Even we have something called the AOK school activation, where an entire school can adopt that philosophy for the school to teach the kids, the students, and to embody and embrace that, to take it to their community, take it home. Um, but where we're at right now, I've been looking for, some celebrities actually to take the challenge and say, I want to get back to where I came from. I want to go back to my hometown, my old school, elementary school, high school, junior high school. I want to do something amazing, just to show that I haven't forgotten where I come from, and to encourage those people that are going forward, as well. So, that's where we're at. We're reaching out to a few people right now. We've got a few responses, and we're just hopeful that, this is going to be contagious and be a spark to ignite something amazing that goes from city and state to state, um, with these
And I
people that are
mean,
minded.
being kind is something that you want to be infectious. Tell us what have you know you've been doing this for a long time.
Long time.
And where have some of the places you've been and some of the things you have been doing on these random acts of kindness?
Well, some of my favorite ones are to partner with a shopping center. Like, there's a couple of food stores that are a national brand, and so we'd work it out with the store, with the management, so that, perhaps a senior citizen or an elderly or, a parent with kids come up with their bags, and instead of them paying, um, there would be somebody from our organization just to swipe a card and say "bless you," and that's it. We've actually allowed them to go back um, shopping. You got 10 minutes. Fill your cart and take it home. We've worked with the same type situation, only brands of for gasoline, to where gas station people come in, if they're putting in $20 or under, they probably are pinching a little bit. So to recognize those individuals
Right, right,
and have them fill up instead.
right.
So that's a couple of couple of ones that we had that are my
I mean,
favorite.
minor blessings.
Yeah,
These are minor blessings, but they're big to the people. Like I know if I go to the gas station and I ain't got nothing but $20, that's not filling up my tank. It costs about $60 to fill up my
right,
tank. So I'm just getting my tank on a quarter. That's all I had. So
right.
if I go in there and somebody saying, "Hey, you was filling up a quarter, but I'm gonna fill you up all the way," it might seem something so small,
Mm,
but it was really big to the person you're doing it for. And
that's right.
is that what the acts of kindness is geared towards?
It is absolutely is good. Like I said, it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and it doesn't take a lot. It just takes creativity to be inventive, if you will, to do something meaningful. And truly, just like you said, if you go in with putting $20, knowing that it's not going to fill your tank up, how much would it mean to you in so many ways to have the comfort and peace of mind to say my tank is full?
Even when I go to the grocery store, I've been in situations where I didn't have food stamps. I was spending cash. So guess what my kids getting? We getting potatoes, we getting rice, and we getting meat. And we
Right,
getting Kool-Aid and a big bag of sugar. Even though I don't like to feed my kids Kool-Aid, but maybe that's all I can afford to have them some juice, right?
right.
But if I was going to the counter and I was getting the bare minimums, and you saw that and you allowed me to get my kids some fruit snacks, some real fruit, some bread, stuff that I'm thinking to stretch the long haul because I'm struggling, right?
That's
I'm
right. That's right.
thinking rice, we need a bag of potatoes, we need a big bag of chicken thighs. I don't even eat chicken thighs and chicken
Right,
legs. But
right,
that's what I can afford. So I'm going to have to feed my family. So for you guys to come in and say, "Hey, you got an extra 10 minutes to fill up your car," I'm getting me some lamb chops. I'm getting all that stuff.
right. Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
it's amazing because as people in this world, we struggle individually. I mean, I don't care if you're rich, if you're poor, we all have our struggles.
That's
How
right.
can someone like me contribute to what you're doing?
Well, we're always looking to um, be creative and inventive, and the more people give and more people help, the more we can do. I do hope to, at some point, we're putting together a pilot right now in hopes of even creating a show, to where ordinary people can be blessed, and inviting again some celebrities to join in who haven't give back, who had the mind to do so, the means, but just haven't done it for whatever reason. So let us do it. But just to your point, if they were to go to www.handuppaidforward.org, handuppaidforward.org, handuppaidforward.org, you can see for yourself the many things that we've been a part of, city, state, and even national events that we've been a part of, like some of the shootings, school shootings and hurricanes and so forth. There's an opportunity for them. There's a donate button there for people to go to. They can give that way, or they can reach out to me, directly as well. But
And what is the actual AOK challenge? Tell me about the AOK challenge. Because I
well,
know you have an AOK challenge going on. It's a challenge, something like the ice bucket challenge. What is the AOK challenge?
okay, well, the AOK challenge, active kindness challenge, is where right now I'm asking some celebrities and some officials if they would get back to where they came from. So we're connecting to that person's elementary school, junior high, and high school. We're connecting to about 12 other schools in their city, state, and we're going to find a person, an amazing educator from each one of those, and we're going to recognize them for being as amazing as they are. I'm connecting to that person's city, state mayor, and governor, and state senator, and city officials. We're pooling positive people together, and we're going to recognize a couple of firefighters from that city, a couple police officers, people who are religious orientated organizations. We're going to recognize even some youth. We're going to find some youth from that community. We want to reach about 25 to 30 people, Huff people, ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things, and we're going to host an event like an Emmys. We're going to invite them there, and we're going to recognize them publicly. So that's what we're going to do. Combining with the mayor and those city officials, we want to recognize them with plaques and with certificates and certifications. We're going to allow them to speak, and we're also going to sponsor some amazing prizes for them too. We've given away, plane tickets for anywhere to come in the United States. We've given away Disneyland trips. We've given away cruises. We've given away spa weekends. But it's something to really set people on their heels to say, we appreciate you for who you are. And just because of who you are, we want to recognize you, we want to uplift you, and we want to encourage you. And hopefully by doing you, everybody around you in each one of those networks are encouraged as well.
Amazing. So once again, the way for someone to participate and donate is by going to the handsuppaidforward.org website. And what have you done thus far? Tell us about some of the things that AOK and Huff has already done to change and impact lives.
Well, some of the most impactful ones that were on me was just being a part of going to, like after the first shooting in Connecticut, I was able to go there and participate with the helping and the healing for some of those families and kids who were of the 17 who were shot and their lives were ended. Going to 3 of those funerals and working with the parents of those people as well. Our local mayor and police and fire department, after the shooting in Florida at Sandy Hook. I mean, Sandy Hook was the first one. After the second one in Florida, being able to go there and to meet uh, the parents of those who had lost them as well, and to speak to the community and to visit the hospitals for those during the pandemic. Like I said, being affiliated with different organizations, Unitas NYC, Feeding Westchester, Feeding NYC, through the mayor's office, and being able to be a part of feeding 500 to 1,000 people a day for 6 days a week for 9 months. Just some of the hurricanes that we've had, but like I said, from local to national situations, just being a part of the solution, helping, has been amazing. And for those organizations and those entities who supported me, I can tell you how gracious I am to know that you empowered me, to represent you in those situations. So I'm eternally grateful and honored.
Would say Huff is not a local New York organization. It's a global organization that's willing to jump in and step in any area that needs that
Right.
that special touch. So I mean, we say all this. We're saying all the things that Huff and AOK's does, but Mr. Marcus, not you are the man behind that. So tell us something about you and who you are and why you're doing this.
Right. Well, I was raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a small town. Um, got out of there as soon as I could. From there to Minnesota, um, where I went to college there. But um, I ended up getting into music and being able to work with some amazing people like, Janet Jackson and Prince and the Prince tour I was on, and um, just just the cream of the crop for artists.
Amazing. What did you do on the print store? Like, okay, you
Well,
said the print store, but was you holding the bags? I mean,
no, actually, the,
something major.
the
What was
Diamonds and
your
Pearl
position
tour,
in the
the
store?
Diamonds and Pearl tour, world tour. I was a lead choreographer. I performed as well with on stage with the opening act as well. But that world tour I was able to be a part of, and the touring with Prince, one of the greatest on planet Earth, ever to live a graceful stage, was
Prince is a
tremendous for me.
major. Prince is a
Absolutely.
major artist, and I heard that working with him wasn't a given and it was a blessing. So, how was that experience for you?
Well, you just have to say that working with Prince, he only chooses the best. So just being chosen, selected to be on his team, said that I was one of the better um, choreographers, that were in our country at the time, because he only worked with the best. And so, but then to be offered to tour with him as well on that tour, again, it is a time in my life that I'll never forget, especially now that he's no longer with us. So, but coming from the projects to touring with Prince, um, from poverty to world tours, it reminded me not to forget where I came from. And so I think between that and then entering the military, I entered the military. I was a part of three different branches. I actually got lost into serving my country. And so I've actually been in three different branches of service. And while doing that, um, my true passion, which is really helping people, came out. So I'm fulfilled. I'm fulfilled with being a part of a team that services the community. And so between the collaboration of those extremely different things, we have me, you know, um, following my faith and pursuing. I'm president of Worldwide Chaplains Federation. Once again, giving back to the community and helping people. And I think I don't know if I can count touring, but everything else pretty much in my life has been, how do I give back? How do I serve? And I came up with this. So I didn't ask for handouts. I asked for hand ups. I want to help people, uplift people, and I came up with Hand Up Pay Forward. And actually, I came up with that after coming back from a military tour of duty. When coming back, they didn't hold my job, they didn't hold my apartment. You come back from the service and you have nothing, and so I actually needed a hand up. But people were looking at people who came back from serving the country, looking down on them. And I'm trying to explain to them, we don't need handouts. We need a hand up. So that's where Hand Up Paid Forward came into play, because I promised, if you help me, if you give me a hand up, I promise you I will pay it forward. So there's a roundabout of, um, where I've come from, a little bit about my background, the extent of it, and the diversity within it, that led me to where I am now. So, and now my fulfillment is truly, truly in this program, in this organization that I hope will make a difference locally and nationally, and at some point even globally.
That's amazing. And who are some of the people that you partner with and have partnered with in the past?
Well, we've done a lot with national brands like um, um, restaurants. I'm trying to think of like Red Lobster and we've worked with McDonald's and Burger King's and um, there's I can't think Olive Garden. Olive Garden was a big one. Target, Walmart, Sears. There's quite a few who jump on board um, per project, including, and don't forget, number one, big dog, Unilever, uh, global Fortune 100 company. So I think, you know, at every level, we've been blessed to find support. And I'm privileged, and again, I'm honored to be able to say that they also entrusted me enough to lend their brands in support of some of the projects that we've been on.
That's truly amazing. Truly amazing, and definitely some big name companies. So, with the AOK challenge, I hear that it's a TV series in progress.
Well, right now we've had, I had the privilege of connecting with Lionsgate, and they referred me to an amazing, director, producer, Jesus R., who is the head of their film school, which is SIC Film School. And together we've been partnering to uh, get some footage of planned acts of kindness, in which I look forward to, putting a few of those together and shopping for a series. So that's the goal, is to um, infect the world who's, you know, stuck on YouTube and reality programs, but to give an infusion of something positive to look at, you know, focus on. Absolutely.
And when you say, Mr. Marcus Knight, that you served in three branches of military, I have done some research that led me to you being very instrumental in the 9/11 tragedy. Tell me about that.
First of all, I'd only been in New York for 3 weeks when this building called the Twin Tower was that day tumbling onto my car. Um, I I saw the plane go in over my head. In short, I activated myself for duty because I was just transferring into New York from Minnesota as an intelligence analyst, and I ended up, working there 12-hour shifts for 3 months, and it was, I don't even know what to say about it other than it's life changing. It is the why of why I do everything. Um, what ended up happening was um, on 14th Street is where the community was trying to figure out, do I have people who were there alive or not? And I was able to, well, do my my 12-hour shifts. But I dug out a flag out of the rubble, and I wore it home. I draped it over myself, and I wore it through the streets. And everywhere I went, the community erupted. I ended up passing by um, George Bush Jr., and he gave me a shout out and a salute saying, "United we stand, soldier." And I ended up saying, "No, sir, United we're still standing," which is where we got the slogan for HPF, United we're still standing. That's where it comes from. I ended up going further to, this was on the 14th of September, so 3 days after the attack. I ended up going to 14th Street again, where they were 5,000 waiting to see if they could find their loved ones who were missing, who worked in the Twin Towers. And the most meaningful thing I can remember of my life was being able to get a bullhorn from one of the officers, stand on a vehicle, and rally the entire community of those 5,000 to lead, to follow me in a prayer. And if you look up on the calendar, September 14th was declared a National Day of Prayer by George Bush Jr. And it was me being able to lead that community and the country as they were televising live in a prayer. So yes, being there, being a part of that, um, is something I'll never forget, and definitely is a big reason on who I am today.
Amazing, amazing. And what impact did that have on you mentally? And like, I mean, what made you wear that flag? And why did you do the things that you did to help the community at that moment?
Well, I don't know. Again, I'm one of the crazy ones where everybody's running away from those things. You have a few people who are testing ahead that actually run toward it. Um, I often, my thought when I see things is, what can I do? And in most cases, there is something. Just like I mentioned about being kind, there were people during the pandemic who were making masks and shipping them to us to use. There are people, whatever. There's just always something you could do. So what that did for me is that gave me my why. Why do I do the things I do? Why do I try so hard? Well, there were people jumping out of the building, burning alive. There were people, so many who died, especially people working with me, firefighters, police officers, even after that, who died of cancer. And I said to myself, I owe them because I survived and they didn't. I owe I owe their children and their grandchildren to say, I've got to do something with my life and with the calling that's on my life because for whatever reason
And
I was spared.
when you say they survived and you didn't, I
I
mean, when
survived.
you say you survived, survived and they didn't, what does that mean?
Again, those people who jumped out of buildings, burning alive, those people who came down in the building, those firefighters, police officers who were there with me trying to get people out who were hurt and or killed then or later from illnesses that we all got. Um, I owe them because if I was spared, I have to do something with this life. Otherwise, perhaps they should have been spared and I wasn't.
Amen. Amen to that. And I honor you and I thank you, brother, for your service in
Thank you.
assisting your community. Now, with the AOK challenge, where would you like to see that go?
Wow. Well, first of all, I always mention Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq, because he's my goal. I want to get to this brother. because I see what he does and how he is. But my goal is really just to hopefully attract a few key people, celebrities, who would love to do something back in their hometowns, who would like to give back, and to join forces with them and have something amazing in their city states, to where we recognize, between 20 and 30 people, and they recognize them along with their city officials. What would be so amazing about this is the fact that, just like the bucket challenge, when they're done with their challenge and honoring their community, they have to challenge the next person, the next athlete, the next celebrity. And it's an ongoing, hopefully forever, never ending blessing to help people, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. That's my goal. That, and yes, to for this to get picked up as well, and to have my own show. I would love to be able to impact communities and individuals in a way that's life changing. And this is
Um,
what I do for a living.
Amazing. And do you have anyone on deck? Do you have any current acts of kindness challenges coming up?
As a matter of fact, I do. Um, I was introduced to Baby D, which is an artist in Atlanta, Georgia, ATL, and we chopped it up. And this is a good brother. I'm proud of this young man who's basically decided that he wants to lock arms with me and bring something uh, amazing, incredible to his city. So I'm looking forward to, within the next few months, getting to Atlanta and chopping it up and hyping it up. Lighting it up so it's extra lit, connecting with his community, his city officials, his local government, police department, and setting this thing off. So if you're to look for something, or look for me to what's going on in 2024, that's what's up. It's ATL. That's what's up.
Amazing. And through my research, I've seen that you haven't had many African Americans come on to the AOK challenge. And how do you feel about that? And where would you
Hmm.
like to see this go?
Well, it is unfortunate, but like I said, I wear the title as guru of kindness with honor, and as I'm reaching out to athletes and professional, athletes and musicians and artists and celebrities, Baby D is the first African American male to actually step forward and say, "Hey, I want to get back to where I came from." But I would like to challenge openly, brothers and sisters who look like me, who have the means to make a difference, to connect with me. Hit me up on an email. Hit me up, do a shout out, and let's put something together to where it's not just, with no offense, but Caucasian who are pouring into my community, even with a good heart and great intention. There's still enough people who look like us, who could say, "This is where I came from." I want to plant the seed. I want to bring about change and an improvement. And, let's do it. Let's get it. Let's go.
Right. So in 2024, what's your vision and what would you like to see happen in 2024?
Well, I'd like to do at least 4 statewide acts of kindness. I'd like to be able to submit, you know, my show for consideration, as I pursue getting a television series. And basically, just to, on a smaller scale, just to impact communities, cities, states in a positive way, that and to tag this face, this person that you see before you, humbly, um, as the root behind it, as a driving force. That's my goal for 2024.
Amazing. And it's amazing goal. And once again, I know we asked you already, but once again, just let everyone know how they can reach out to you, how they can contribute to this amazing cause, and how they can be a part of it. Just let us know that once again.
Well, once again, you can go to the website, which is www.handuppaidforward.org. You can hit me up on email, which is handuppf@gmail.com. And I promise you that I will get back to you. And I don't know, only call me, I guess, if you're sincere. If you really, really want to make a difference, if you really want to give back, if you really want to invest
Right.
and pour into people that look like me, absolutely, I'm the guy. And I will show you where your interest, where your investment will go, and the impact that it'll make. I promise you.
Amazing. Amazing. So I just want you to give a shout out to Worldwide Entertainment TV and Miss Goldie to you. And thank you so much, Mr. Knight, for gracing us with your time.
Worldwide Entertainment, I appreciate you. I'm telling you that, I think everything happens for a reason. Our interaction, us come together. Goalie, thank you for bringing this, facilitating and being the liaison to bring this together. And I'm not a religious guy, but I'm spiritual. And I tell you that everything happens for a reason. And so I'm believing that this is the beginning of something great. So once again, thank you so much for your interest, for your time, and your support. I appreciate you.
And we thank you for just giving us your time and allowing us to utilize our platform for greater things. And I pray greater things come to you, Mr. Knight, and hand up paid forward and acts of kindness challenges and all the endeavors. And I'm going to say right now, any of you artists out here listening, celebrities, entrepreneurs, business people, this is something you would want to do. You want to give back to your community. You want to be an instrument in your own community. And I'm telling you, to hit up Mr. Marcus Knight, hand up paid forward, acts of kindness challenge, and let's make this thing happen one community at a time, one person at a time. And let's do it. And thank you so much, Mr. Marcus Knight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like I said, appreciate you. Appreciate you. And, I can't wait until, the domino falls. And hopefully in 2024, they're falling.